biggest challenges that you faced during your life?
One challenge I'll tell you about. I was cleaning my house and a messenger came to the door telling me I had found favor with the Most Holy One. But I didn't understand what was going to happen to me. But the messenger assured me nothing is impossible with God. I knew I had to talk to someone though, so I went to visit my cousin. She helped me realize how blessed I am because I believe that what was told to me would come to fruition.
What is your greatest joy that you've experienced during your life?
Well, my fiance and I went on a trip to take care of some business in his hometown. And as soon as we got there, my water broke, but there were no hospital rooms available. So I ended up giving birth to a baby boy in a barn. But that baby boy is the greatest gift I have ever received.
Grandmother, just give us a quote, one big thing in your life that you think would be really good for us to remember.
Here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word.
So grandmother, what were some of your biggest challenges in life?
As a young widow, I'd only been married 7 years. And as our custom, we usually remarry. But instead I chose to not remarry and to devote my life in service to the temple of God.
Wow, that's good. So what was your greatest joy in life?
While at the temple, my greatest joy was seeing and holding the baby Jesus. And that Jesus was there for the rites of purification of the firstborn son.
Can you give us a quote, grandmother, of one big thing in your life that you think it would be good for us to remember?
I think everyone should remember that upon seeing the baby Jesus, that I foretold that this child would be the redemption of Jerusalem.
What were your biggest challenges in your life?
Well, life has a lot of frustrations. And I think my biggest frustration in life was not being able to have a child. I prayed to the Lord asking for a child many, many times. And once in the temple, when I was praying to the Lord, Eli thought I was drunk. But it was in the morning, and I don't drink, and I was not drunk. I was just so distraught over not being able to have a child. And that was for many, many years.
So, grandmother, what would you say might be your biggest joy in your life?
Well, after so many years of frustration, God finally answered my prayer, and I became a mother. And I had my first son. And then, not only did he bless me with my first son, he later gave me 3 more sons and 2 daughters.
A quote about one big thing in your life that you think would be good for all of us to remember.
Well, I think we need to remember that God does hear our thoughts and prayers, and he does know our hearts. And he doesn't always seem to answer us in our time frame, but in his own time, he will answer our prayers, and not always exactly how we had thought. I never thought I would have 6 children.
everybody has major challenges in their life. I have so many, but I won't go into all of them. But I'd like to hear about yours.
Well, the biggest challenge in my life was that I had no children for so long.
Oh, how sad.
And felt so disappointed and shamed that I did not have children.
Oh dear.
I prayed for a child, but I got older and older with no children that came.
And we know what that means.
Yes.
Sure.
And I always had my faith, but my husband was like closer to God, I felt, because he was a priest. And then he had a vision at one time, and then he couldn't talk for so long and had no idea what the problem was.
Are there any joys in your life?
Well, my greatest joy was I did eventually become pregnant. And
At your age?
Oh
my goodness. Sakes.
so I went through that without a lot of support from my husband because he couldn't talk at that time.
Yeah.
And
Boy, I wonder what he thought.
but then at the end, when the baby was born, he announced what the baby's name would be. That it would be John. And we decided that was that was from his vision because he was able to say the name at that time.
Sure.
And the other joy was that I felt so blessed with God's Spirit because my cousin Mary came to visit me, and she also was pregnant.
Something that really would stick in our minds forever about yourself.
Well, I'd say keep your faith in God strong, even when you think life is unfair, and remember that nothing is impossible for God.